Well, we got it, but we also got a pause.
Yep, and don't worry, he's got it. At least that's what he said when he ran into the booth to fix the technical monitor issue.
He's saying, I'm on it.
Oh,
so monitor issue, as you can see.
He's like, did you press the power button?
He's saying, well, we're going to, first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and turn it off and turn it back on again.
All right.
And woo, look at that, it worked.
And Mickey with an applause here as the monitor seems to be fixed. Don't worry, we were all just in the game lobby setting up for picks, so.
I wish he was my tech support for pretty much any internet service provider back in America. Because if they could just fix my issues like that, it'd be amazing.
Well, I mean, not only being able to hopefully fix your issues, but the amount of time required to get them to your house, man.
That too.
And for what? Like 20 down back in the day when I lived in the States?
Oh, 20 down. I thought you were talking about like 20 down, like you have to pay them to go out there. I was like, it's way more than $20.
Yeah.
You know, they jiggle a wire for a second, and say, no, that'll be $100.
Did you reset the router? Oh, come on.
We'll bill that to you on your next month. next month's payment.
Well, got the basketball stack. I don't know if this is going to be a shot in the basket itself. Looks like he's going to give up on it, sadly.
That would be a very impressive basket to me.
Yeah, especially considering that it was underneath the plate there.
Yeah, that would be a PogChamp one for sure.
Well, look at this, Achilles. Already we've got Taimu on the McCree. So this is what I wanted to see personally. I was a little bit disappointed we didn't see it there on the match against Panthera, but already starting things off here.
All right, well, I can die happy now. Taimu's starting off here on the McCree, as you saying. EnVyUs going to be opening things up with that first pick as Arhan does go down. Retry, forced to use the recall, getting zapped to death, dashes back. Keeps himself alive for the moment. Point getting ready to unlock here in 5 seconds. Arhan should be able to rejoin him with the rest of the squad to contest this, but for now, EnVy will have the fast track inside.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the first cap going over them. Freecs may dive in, though. They have Arhan here. They are going to try to contest from the other side. Unfortunately, too good coverage here for EnVyUs. Taimu blasts already Donghyun out of the bag. Gets the headshot there on the pilot as well.
Yeah, just goes ahead and takes down the baby D.Va. So nicely done. And already, I mean, Taimu being focused by the D.Va, much like we saw in his series versus Kongdoo Panthera, but this time comes up with the victory on his side. Lucid is popping that Transcendence front delay, but seems like a matter of time. There we go, one more headshot. Taimu takes him out. Cap still has not come through, but with IDK going down, it's going to very much limit their options. No supports available here for Freecs, so they will go ahead and peel back.
They had the better position to start with. Taimu bursting down Donghyun's mech meant that they were going to have a massive advantage of the fight no matter what, but this guy just does not miss on the McCree. We've seen him be the counter to Tracer on this. The flashbang sometimes just getting headshots vanilla. And when you talk about the meta and how McCree isn't used as much as Soldier, which is probably why he wasn't playing against Panthera, sometimes what's more comfortable is the better pick. In this case today, so far, the McCree has been looking good.
All right, you can hear that Deadeye being popped off screen. Gets the flashbang down, misses the headshot. A rare miss there from Taimu. Doesn't quite take out Recry, but forces him off on the recall, but he does lose out on that Deadeye. Can't find any picks with it. Meantime, sound barrier on both sides. Recry poking out where he can. Has the pulse bomb ready to go, but hasn't tossed it yet. In the meantime, Arhan has to deflect up, but he'll still go ahead and get stunned up, gets taken down. As Harry Hook finds the kill. Point still ticking up here for the side of EnVyUs, 44%. Most of the Freecs blue are dead as Mono will get taken out mid-air. Taimu yet again, just sniping another one down. And this is looking like smooth sailing here for EnVyUs so far.
Yeah, they're going to be able to build up another ult advantage with this. Harry Hook's sound barrier was really good there, and even though we saw the rare miss, the caster curse on Taimu's headshot there, the sustain coming out from EnVyUs much better. And it looks like we might even see a pick here on the Lucid. Nice pick here by Mickey and Coco together there. They're going to get IDK, that's both supports down, and that means no more healing. At worst case for EnVyUs, this buys them so much more time to build up the big six.
Well, they finally pop Mickey out of the mech, but he throws down that self-destruct just to try to zone him back. Finds Donghyun, but actually it's just going to be an exchange of D.Vas on the self-destructs. Both of them going down, neither making it around the corner. So, you know, twinsies, I guess. You know, they die together. They live together, they die together. Both fall, but Afreeca Blue still just very much struggling to even try to get a single take on this point.
The 04 D.Va brothers both going down here. Taimu holding on to this Deadeye. We are ticking up onto overtime here. The Primal Rage used. Arhan's about to have that Dragon Blade. Will have Transcendence used already, though. We're watching Taimu for some reason. About to see that Primal Rage get some value here as EnVyUs is going to concede the point, look for a retake with 99%. They have the ult advantage.
Yeah, they have plenty of time to build these up. I mean, nearly have both support ultimates that can buy them so much time. Lucid using the Transcendence is going to be so very far away. So Well, plenty of room to work with here for the side of EnVyUs.
Here's the Deadeye.
It's popped out. Defense Matrix was popped. Not going to find a kill. There's on the flashbang, but will be blocked out by that barrier. And he's just going to get cut down. Dragonblade finally comes through as Arhan picks up 2, gets a 3rd. Gets rid of both supporting members of EnVyUs single-handedly. And they will prevent that cap from coming through, at least for the moment. Respawns are coming up, but yeah, with those final picks, the meter will just go ahead and start dropping down, but they're still just a 1/3 of the way there.
Yeah,
it's a long and arduous road ahead for Afreeca.
It's going to be a long road here, but Taimu pairing that Deadeye with Coco diving in with Mickey meant that there wasn't any protection for the squishies. Arhan found the window there, killed the supports, and that was the end of that fight. So a lot of ults used on the side of EnVyUs as we reach 50% here.
That's going to be the sound barrier coming down here from Afreeca.Blue. Pulse bomb out, not going to find a pick here for effect. Dashes through sound barrier out now from HarryHook to help keep him alive. Nearly had fallen, and the Transcendence is going to come down immediately after, but Effect can't make it inside. Arhan takes him out before he can do so. Taimu dead as well, so no DPS for Envy as they try to get this retake. 66%, so 2/3 of the way there are Afreeca.Blue. They're looking to hold on to this one, might even be looking for their own overtime that EnVyUs will have to try to fight through. They're shoving them right back to the spawn.
They use both support ultimates. They're only going to have the self-destruct and the Deadeye here. Maybe a pulse bomb if this goes longer. No Primal Rage, that's going to be the big problem. The support ultimates as well for the extra sustain for that longer fight. Transcendence and Dragonblade available. IDK should be able to have the sound barrier here and Primal Rage. Freecs.Blue definitely has the better tools to hold this. And here comes that Dragonblade.
Yep, going ahead looking for HarryHook. Both chips and he have gone down. Self-destruct thrown out here by Mickey, but he gets cut down as soon as he leaves it. So no Baby Diva there available to even try to contest this one. And honestly, Afreeca.Blue might have just pulled this one off. The
Looks like
kill delayed being completed. Harry not going to be able to make it back in time, and Night Market will go over to Afreeca.
Afreeca able to take the good fight there, forcing Mickey not to use the self-destruct there for a contest, but use it to remech. He was immediately killed by Arhan while outside of the mech. Arhan, in a split second, able to realize this, get the kill, and get to safety there. The mech does nothing. They don't have the support ultimates. They used them earlier, and it feels like the start was strong for EnVyUs, but the longer the fights went on, Taimu and Coco looked to be conjoined and getting targets, looking for picks at distance, but the rest of the team, the squishies, the supports, never had any peel because Coco was so far away. I mean, that's why we saw so many support deaths on the side of EnVyUs there towards the end of the round.
All right, well, all hope is not lost. Taimu's still got that smile on his face.
He does.
Still piloting that McCree. I mean, can't be expecting a pharmacy comp here on guard in a very popular spot, but Afreeca.Blue have not run that at all this season. So should know that he's going to be getting the same exact composition with that Genji and Tracer on DPS. And already Mono, he's just going to get taken out. Mickey just boops right into him.
That's going to be a nice first blood, if you will, going into this one. You see Effect is actually getting a lot of space to work with here, helping with Taimu to get that pick onto Arhan.
Flashbang comes down, finds the headshot. Arhan does fall. They have him shoved all the way back towards the spawn. Popped OGN out of the mech just to buy a little bit of extra time so he can jump off or go swap out in the spawn if he needs to, and actually that is exactly what he did. So whatever little meter he had built up towards that ultimate will be losing it. So swap to the Roadhog back to the Diva.
Yeah, we're going to see this big dive in actually from Mono, trying to prove his worth here. Looking for the supports yet again. It's going to be Chips who goes down, but they traded for Lucid. No peel there.
Yeah, but Harry has also fallen, so that's both supports. He has to get himself back out of there, leap back to the health pack to keep himself topped off. And we still do have control over the point for the moment, but getting rid of Mickey, getting rid of one of those big delay tools. We can hear that Deadeye pop somewhere. Everybody ducking around the corners, but Taimu still finds Freecs, pokes his head out a second too soon, and he's going to go down.
You could tell the targeting here for Freecs.Blue is definitely on the supports. That's been their goal this entire game. Just looking for the supports, knocking them out, then focusing the tanks later. Something that didn't work against Lunatic-Hai.
Now they're looking for the cap. You still haven't got it. They popped the sound barrier, but everybody from Envy was able to successfully kite back. Mickey's still on the point, keeping things contested by the look of it. Now just trying to take out IDK. A couple more shots would have had it. Instead, going to lose the mech. Pops out that self-destruct yet again. Won't be contesting the payload with this. Look, it's the remech to help out in that regard. Transcendence thrown down here by a Lucid, but Freecs dies right after it drops, and Chips uses his own, just keeping everybody from Envy topped up. They're looking for that overtime yet again, if not just a flat 100% win. Sound barrier comes down just a second too late to keep Taimu in the fight, so he does die. Dungyan finds that kill, but he's going to lose his own mech now. Self-destruct as everyone ducks around the corner. Seems like they might be able to get this retake. Perhaps. I say that as the pulse bomb comes through, effect knocking him out of that mech yet again, and there's just really nowhere for the baby diva to go. Recall will save his life as he nearly falls off the map, and Envy will in fact hold strong. It looked like they might have had it for a second.
Yeah, they had to use a lot to do this, but so did Freecs Blue. And I think the idea for EnVyUs was to stagger the ult usage so that by the end of the fight they'd win the overtime and win it here. Could end up biting them in the rear if this next push actually is successful for the side of Freecs Blue.
They're pushing forward, have sound barrier, but it's only down onto the support, so Mono will get taken out. Another Deadeye there from Taimu. Not quite going to find a kill, but helps chip them down, and there's nobody on the point. So a bit of a C9 moment there, you'd have to say, for Freecs Blue, and EnVyUs will tie it up 1-1, which means that we are going to be moving over to Control Center.
Well, you know, a term that Papa Smithy actually added to Overwatch, the front-to-back team fighting, that is what we saw used by Lunatic-Hai to dismantle this team. Freecs, who's very much focused on diving the back line, not trying to burst the tank, but try to burst the squishies. That's why they're still running the Genji, even though he's very much fallen out of popularity for the top teams in Korea. I know we're still in top 4, but we're not seeing him as often right now, and it feels like this could be both a strength and a liability for Freecs Blue. And I feel like if Coco can play a little bit more defensive here on the Winston instead of also diving himself, EnVyUs is going to have much better protection for the supports. They win it with better ult usage there in that last fight to keep that point, but like that's the weakness, definitely the support play on EnVyUs, the protection of the supports.
Yeah, well, already yet again, opening frag comes through here for Envy as Taimu finds the kill onto Recry, dashing to the back is Effect, looking for that enemy Zenyatta. Can't quite find it, even with his Discord Orb thrown down on top of him. But Envy do have that forward posture in onto the point. Be looking for that first cap yet again. Third time in a row. Coco finding Lucid. Arhan drops as he swapped over to the Sombra, not operating on that Genji anymore. Once those EMPs that easily take out chips. Nearly has one already, but would have had it available if he had not gone down.
Well, 3 for 3 EnVyUs with the first point control, which obviously always will give you a massive lead on control because of the ability to hold on to the ticks, build up an ult advantage. Arhan nearly with that EMP here. We'll see what angle he wants to take. EnVyUs is already playing defensively back, not bunched up here, trying to minimize the effects of the EMP. He's finding the squishies at the back again. This is the idea here once more.
Arhan dropping in the back, drops the EMP, immediately has to translocate out, but Chip still falls. Mono leaping forward is able to take him out, but Effect comes up with the 2K pulse bomb to get IDK, then follows up onto the enemy Tracer. In the meantime, Mono going down yet again, and EnVyUs just cleaning up house, just wiping Freecs Blue off the face of the map, and they will maintain control.
This is just EnVyUs very much playing around the EMP, being very prepared for that dive in, and when it came down and everyone tried to focus the supports, that's when Effect got those kills. See Chips helping to get the pick on a Recry here, and the ticks just keep coming. Almost about to be 6 ultimates on the side of EnVyUs.
I mean, he just swapped over to that Soldier, and this is going to delay attack visor coming through for a significant amount of time. Just 9% was all that he accrued before going down. So now has to try to rapidly build up for this contest. Nearly 2/3 of the way now are Envy, and they have plenty of ultimates, Primal Rage, double support to try to just hold on to this.
Basically take a miracle here for Freecs Blue. Taimu's already got the high ground here with the Deadeye. Transcends is up. Big deny here, but he's going to lose his mech for it. And Donghyun actually saves his mech for the remech, but the self-destruct isn't going to find value, but it looks like the fight is already won here on the low ground. EnVyUs holding on to the majority of their ultimates, just going to let this one go.
Well, it's going to be the sound barrier thrown down. They really do want to hold on to this Transcendence to match from Chips, just stacking them on top of each other. Coco still does have that Primal Rage. For the time being, are holding on, and Effect rejoins the fight. Nearly has a pulse bomb ready, and that could change the flow of all of this. As I say, that Lucid does go down. Just spamming away into that corridor, helps get rid of the enemy's Zenyatta.
Effect not found there while hacked, so still will hold on to the pulse bomb. Wants to use it against Recry here.
Out right on the wall, not going to find it. The translocation away from Arhan, just keep himself safe. You can see Freecs Blue still posturing for it, trying to get this cap in, but
some indecision.
Maintain this cap, I should say. They did get it.
Yeah, some indecision for EnVyUs. They used a lot of ultimates there when they were looked to be holding on and backing off. So the regrouped attack to try to hold it and get the 100% was really disorganized. And Freecs Blue just had the better exchange there. The support ultimate's wasted by EnVyUs again.
Effect and Mickey both going down at the start of this one. Attack visor popped out by Recry, just cutting down everybody in front of him. So Envy going to be suffering a near team wipe. Chips to fall right at the end of that nice stagger, and Harry Hook likely not to make it out of here alive. Tries to hug the wall to keep himself safe, but actually will stay alive as Coco does rejoin in. But now they have to fight their way out of the spawn.
Yeah, EnVyUs had all the tools to do a big 6 ult push, and because they used so many, now they only have chips for the Transcendence, and even though there's still a decent amount of time left on the clock, they could have had probably 2 sets of big ult pushes had they been more patient, and Arhan could ruin their first one right now. Here he goes.
And drops it in right off the bat. Mickey going low with the Transcendences there from chips. Wasn't clipped by that EMP, so he's able to get the ultimate off to keep everybody topped up. Sound barrier comes through immediately as the Transcendence ends. Lucid pops his own, but that will drop, and now he's vulnerable, so he has to kite back around the corner as Envy seeks to get in onto the point. Pulse bomb coming through, not going to find anything. Sound barrier out of here from Afreeca.Blue to keep everybody alive. Taimu yet again with another Deadeye. Looking for a spot, but Donghyun goes for it yet again, has that defense matrix there, and Coco has fallen.
Not only does he deny that, but protects Recry while he's using his attack visor there. Gets a lot of damage done. EnVyUs needs to buy some more time here. They're about to have a bunch of ults available, but I don't know if it's going to matter. Mickey needs to use that self-destruct. Here comes the EMP.
Yet again, he will drop it in. Looks like he found about 4 members. Lucid goes down, so they do exchange on the Zenyatas as the rest of the teams keep piling in here, try to stay alive. Harry Hook goes dangerously low, zips his way around the corner as the self-destruct does come through. Not going to find a pick with that one, but he does go down off screen as Arhan hounds him down with that Sombra. Now it's all in effect, throwing out the pulse bomb. Not going to find a pick. Primal Rage out here from Coco. He's able to smack the Sombra to death.
Yeah, Chip switching to
all
Sombra.
in for Envy to try to get this retake.
Trying to buy time. They just don't have anything. Harry's trying to build up to that sound barrier. Maybe that's their only hope here. Mickey going to get DMEC though. This may be the end.
Yeah, he gets popped up. Everybody going to go down, and that overtime meter drops very quickly.
And Freecs Blue take their first win and a best of 7.
Congratulations. Hopefully it's not the only one that they get, but it's a start, like I said, a step in the right direction here for Afreeca.Blue. So finally do get that first map win in a playoff match.
I feel like this
keep that ball rolling.
This shows kind of somewhat of a weakness of EnVyUs to hold on to their resource advantage when you get the first capture. You hold on to the cap late. They were really pushing 90% there on the cusp of having all 6 ultimates. Decided to regroup even after losing 2 members to try to buy time for them to respawn to take the win, instead of just allowing the faster cap there for Freecs Blue. And it looked like they were going to do it, and then they changed their minds. They came in, used half their ultimates, and were behind in ults for the rest of the game as a result. And Freecs just ended up closing it out, even though the massive advantages were there for EnVyUs. So something to consider going forward, but that's going to be our only control map of this best of 7.
I mean, I understand what Envy was trying to do, because Taimu in particular there, especially on Control Center, using the McCree, trying to hug back around Harry Hook and Chips, so that as soon as he saw the Sombra come out, could use the flashbang, try to prevent the EMP and get a pick onto her. Unfortunately, that circumstance never really, rose for him to really take advantage of that, but that was the style of play that he was going for. But unfortunately, it does come up short. The Sombra from Arhan, just a bit too oppressive, constantly having those EMPs and constantly just taking out chips on the backsides of those fights. Yeah, it just spills the advantage over to Afreeca, which does give them that 1 map lead so far in this series.
Some other factors for sure were definitely the Donghyun defense going into Taimu's ult usage there. The Deadeyes just never was really able to find value except on Night Market. And also Mickey, oftentimes not willing to hold on to his self-destruct, always wanting to use it to remech, then losing but either the pilot diva in those moments or just losing his secondary mech after remeching. We saw that a few times throughout that short mini best of 3 on Control. So just some things to be critical of here. But remember, EnVyUs running an unusual comp here with the McCree. And we're going to go into more normal map types now. They're stronger ones, as this is one of their weaker ones, at now 5 and 9 on Control as we head into Hybrid on their map pick.
Well, last time around versus Kongdoo Panthera, we did see Envy go for Nimbani. Was a 2-2 from both sides, couldn't quite get the completion, ended up getting +1 on the card by Kongdoo for that victory. So do they want to revisit Nimbani or do they change things up?
Big question here. Looks like we're going to have a tactical pause actually called early on here. I have to assume this is going to be on the side of EnVyUs. Here it is. So they've got 3 minutes to talk this one out. And I know one of the big talking points for EnVyUs going into this best of 7 was Taimu wanted to play the McCree, and he was told by his coach, okay, today you can play the McCree, give it a good shot. He wasn't allowed to play it, at least didn't show it at all in their series against Panthera. So maybe this is going to be a discussion point going into this one. But it looks like Kai is mostly talking to Harry here as he enters the booth. It's a tough call as to where you go for maps right now for EnVyUs because they've got a strong hybrid map pool. They're Kings Row, something they were famous for in the past. They defeated, last time they faced Freecs Blue in the finals, them on Hollywood. So they have a lot of options as to where to pick here. But I think there were just some issues in the backline dive where the supports were being picked off many times. Harryhook and Chips both had really high deaths in that small mini best of 3 on Control. So perhaps it's trying to bring Mickey in to play more defensively, not get caught using those self-destructs to remech, make him at the back, protecting the supports when Arhan comes in for the dive. You see Recry when he's on the Tracer coming in, and we saw several deaths there while Coco and Mickey were trying to get a target that Taimu was aiming for elsewhere. That's when the big DPS dive came in, and you saw the supports die.
I mean, you say it's time for that. I think it's time, actually, that we see a substitution. I think it's time for Kai to make his
in the
Apex debut here on EnVyUs.
I would love to see it. He's like talking to Harry because he's like, I want to sit in the booth. Let me play that Lucio, man. He's like, I'll boop him off.
They could do that, replace Coco. More than likely, we could see that swap coming through if that were to ever happen. But, I mean, you got nothing really to lose at this point. A little bit of fight money, like we said. A bit of pride, perhaps. But I think it'd be a fun way to go out.
He could still swap later.
So why the hell not?
Yeah, he could still swap later. He's like, all right, if you guys don't step it up, look, you gave Afreeca their first win in the first best of 7. If you don't step it up, I'm stepping in.
Yeah, he's like, let me tell you something, Taimu. You better tighten up with that McCree or else I'm going to have to debut my...
Just goes in and plays Hanzo.
Please, no. This all sounds awful.
Well, again, for Freecs Blue, they definitely are beating EnVyUs basically in every way, except they struggled on the first captures. But their ult economy was definitely better, and I think for the Afreeca coach right now, it's mostly more of the same here, and probably discussing map picks for EnVyUs. Probably bringing up some sore memories of the Hollywood game from that grand finals. It's definitely a high chance that's where we're going to see EnVyUs go. Like I said earlier, because they play so many different hybrid maps, they have such a large scale of hybrid, it's tough to predict what they're going to choose right now.
See Effect getting his thoughts through with the translator in the booth, just making sure everything is crystal clear between he and Kai. So, seems like tactical pause is going to be up. Spirit's still relatively high here in the booth for Envy. Still some smiles, of course, on the face of Mickey, Taimu, and Effect as well, sharing in those. So we'll see how they bounce back from that first map loss. Weren't able to recover versus Kongdoo Panthera. But here today, perhaps they can turn it around. Perhaps they can have a better mental state, put some wins on the board, and make this a competitive series.
Yeah, going into this series, it was hard to tell whether we were going to see a one-sided one or this back-and-forth grudge match.
I mean, I'd say it's been that way for the entire playoff so far, actually.
Yeah, it really has. So we'll see if this one ends up being a closer one, as we are going to the old favorite here for EnVyUs on Kings Row.
This is going to make things as even as possible for either side. Keep it around that 50-50 mark.
This is their best hybrid map in Apex at 4-2, so they stick with their best map. They don't have a specific plan here against Afreeca. They're not going to go for perhaps a map they're less successful on historically, but one they've prepared a strategy for this dive caught with the Tracer Genji, the old 2-2-2. So keeping it a little bit more standard here is EnVyUs right now, and hope they can keep their spirits high as we head into this one.
Yeah.
Looks like everyone's trying to keep Effect motivated here, as we saw him definitely get a little bit frustrated in that semifinals match.
Well, Mickey doing his damnedest to go ahead and keep the smiles on his face. And if anybody can cheer you up, Mickey's the guy. But let's go ahead, jump onto our second map here. It's Kings Row.
Get it?
All right, fans, hanging in there, 7:30 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, and what better thing could you be doing than sitting here and watching Apex?
You call 7:30 afternoon?
Yes, given the times that I wake up, this is my afternoon.
Well, it is.
2 p.m. is my morning.
Yeah.
7:30 is my afternoon.
Okay. I mean,
and then bedtime's about 4 or 5 a.m., you know.
As a like-minded nerd who sleeps late, I can understand this. I could appreciate this. It's also summer, so the sun isn't down yet.
Yeah, but it's also because, you know, there's so many things to be watching right now. You have, you know, summer games done quick going on. Sometimes those speedruns, because they're happening in the, you know, the afternoon or the morning in America, means that it's happening in the early AM here in Korea. And by God, I need my Legend of Zelda fix. I have to be watching these games.
And look,
so.
I mean, I heard that they were thinking about for 2018 putting the Apex semifinals in the into the rotation because of how quick the Apex semis have been. So a few different teams have decided maybe they could become the first Apex semifinal speedrunners. So again, you're just preparing for 2018, the future.
Yeah, Lunatic-Hai and Kongdoo Panthera definitely have world records on those. But here we go, starting things off. EnVyUs over in the attack. Taimu's still playing that McCree.
Not
sticking
swapping
for that maximum comfort and the Freecs Blue. Only change up that we're really going to be seeing is Lucid operating over onto that Ana rather than the Zenyatta, at least to start things off here on point A for the defense. Going to get jumped on straight into the back line immediately. Throws out the sleep dart, not going to find a damn thing. As Effect does pick up that kill, but EnVyUs are the one suffering heavier losses as Chips and Taimu both go down.
Just
Still
feels like
sticking in this though.
Yeah, it feels like we're seeing the big heavy dive from EnVyUs backfire a little bit when a Freecs Blue turn on them, but looks like in the longer fight here, Effect is just going to keep carrying it. Mono out of the picture here for a moment. Does get taken out completely there by Mickey, so this could be successful after all.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the Effect show on attack so far. I mean, that's the first hit coming through, second getting ready to happen right about now. And seems like they might just have to give up on it. They could do one last ditch defense if they want to, but with Arhan just respawning, maybe they might just peel off of this one. Dongyun does come down, has that Discord orb on him as he goes dangerously low, will get popped out of the back. Right as Mono rejoins, so going to be solo tanking now, and Taimu's still firing away from the backside. Just helping to chip down these things.
Yeah, they're going to do one more attempt to deny, but Mono's picked up first, and
he was trying so hard to keep his head behind that pillar.
There's the cap, 5 minutes plus here for EnVyUs. Looked dire for them at the beginning, but the longer fight with the faster respawns coming in, and even though Chips was picked off, Harry was doing a lot of healing, and Effect somehow went unnoticed there and ended up picking off about 4 kills by himself throughout that longer duration. And with the longer runbacks to Freecs Blue, what are you going to do against that? You can never kill the Tracer, and then suddenly you got 6 ults on the side of EnVyUs for this next push. I'd be very happy with this one.
I mean, that was like early Season 3 Effect Taimu coordination that we saw going on right there. Taimu's still just, you know, constantly being a threat, but Effect is dashing around, no one able to get hold of him. Goes for it, throws out the pulse bomb, does find the stick in. Onto the mech, knocks Dongyun out of that one. Struck comes through, not going to be finding a pick with that side of Mickey. Actually does get Arhan right at the end, as I do tell a lie, so finds that Dongyun pop out of the mech yet again. Just can't seem to stay in it this time around on King's Row. Just consistently knocked in and out. And this payload's just going to keep on moving. Only a minute off the time bank, and they're already over halfway there.
Well, they used 6 ultimates to make that exchange happen. Even Effect dropping down the pulse bomb to try to get the kill there on the DMX Dongyun. He did survive, but very expensive for EnVyUs. But when they have this much of a time bank and what they got out of it, I can't be mad. You know,
yeah,
I have to just give them props for it.
They're already right here. Reekright has thrown out a pulse bomb of his own. Not going to find anything for it. No picks coming through. Arhan off screen does get rid of Effect, finally taking care of that pesky Tracer as he gets that next pulse bomb available. We'll be delaying it for some time as the Freecs Blue do end up posturing forward onto the payloads. They have control for the moment, but 3.5 minutes on the clock, as you say, just in front of point B. So EnVyUs still have plenty of time to stack up. Chips nearly has that Transcendence ready to go as well.
Yeah, the next attack going to be heavy ults coming in for EnVyUs because they were to build so much for the last one. You're going to see already commitment here to the Nano onto Mono. This is part of the reason why they run the Ana. Looks like a double there for Reekright at the same time. So this push is going to be shut down in its tracks, really, for only 1 ult. Reekright holds onto the pulse bomb. Doesn't even have it yet, in fact.
In the meantime, Taimu just kind of solo pushing this payload. Will get jumped on, will get taken down. Stops the rollback from coming through for the moment. Does build up for that Deadeye, but yeah, push very much does get halted. So just invest the nano boost, and Mono goes forward with the help of Reekright. And I mean, you saw Chips' HP bar just absolutely melt.
Yeah, and at the end of this payload push, though, you do have to be careful doing things like what Taimu just did, because when you die, the run back and the respawn is so long at the stage of the Streets phase. So not getting much out of it. Here comes Arhan's Dragon Blade.
Dragon Blade comes through for the Transcendence is there from Chips to answer, keeping everybody alive. So just nullifying that one. Sound barrier used as well by IDK, so now Afreeca.Blue going to be without a support ultimate, whereas Harry Hook nearly has his. Self-destruct thrown out. Oh, a double kill comes through. Taimu running straight into Chips. Who had that pulse bomb stick coming through. RunAway comes up big, and that is going to stop any potential push that EnVyUs was looking for there. Still have multiple ultimates available for them off the respawns, but time bank certainly shrinking compared to where it once was.
Yeah, definitely. So Mickey going to get that desynced respawn there. It feels like RunAway is stepping up his play in this game, specifically on the Tracer. We've seen him play a lot of Soldier, switching between the Tracer and the Soldier in the past, but not as successful on our control map as he is here on King's Row, getting several double kills, sometimes without the pulse bombs. EnVyUs still finally building up these ults. They're going to have the sound barrier for this next push, and they at least have decreased run back with this rollback on the cart.
That's a glass half full if I've ever heard
Sure.
of one.
I mean, I'm just trying to think positive here.
All right, well, that's going to be the nano boost and the primal rage out from Mono, leaping up into the sky. Comes up, must come down. He's just wreaking havoc on the backside of the fight, looking for a couple picks, but hasn't found anything yet. Now rejoining the fight, primal rage will expire, but he hasn't arrived in time to really save that many members of his team. RunAway, Donghyun dropped out of the back. Harhan going down as well as Effect picks up his second kill, looking for a third, does find it as he kills IDK. Can he make it a fourth? The chase in onto Lucid, who's dangerously low. Sleep Dart doesn't connect, and he'll die in the end, so Effect very much cleaning up the members of Afreeca.Blue. Payload makes it all the way into the station for point B. Now it's just 2.5 minutes to make it all the way through the founder stage.
I want to see Taimu's the only one who got, or sorry, RunAway's the only one who died to this Taimu ult. You have to think he was trying to deny it, trying to punish him there. He went down, so no more flexibility there on the side of Freecs.Blue to delay, with also Donghyun being demeched. And they used a lot for this, but they got that checkpoint, so it's all good in the end here. Kilios.
That was the ultimate goal, at least for the moment, but already, even without the ultimates, the picks are starting to come through. Lucid and Arhan both falling. RunAway having the dash back towards the spawn, is getting jumped on, doesn't have the recall available, 6 HP. He will go down as Effect chases forward, and it's just a massacre right now in favor of EnVyUs. Just keep going straight through the members of Freecs.Blue, shoving them back into the spawn. And just like that, 2.5 minutes to start the payload, it's right in front of point C.
Okay, Freecs.Blue gonna have a miracle hold here. It's gonna be the Dragon Blade to start things off here. The deflex.
Yeah, jumping in with the Transcendence's area yet again, and he goes low, and he'll get taken down. Coco zapping him to death. Just go ahead and finish things off. Sound barrier out from Freecs.Blue. They'll be melted through rather quickly, and Amano has already fallen. Donghyun just sitting on top of the payload as best as he possibly can, trying to keep that contested. But the rest of his team, they need that defense matrix. They need him to help body block, but he can't be there because he has to keep this payload.
Here's the self-destruct though.
Throws it out, not going to find anything this time around. Can he get the remake? Looks like the answer is going to be yes. But still, EnVy keep getting these picks one after another. Deadeye thrown out by Taimu, looking for the hit. Does find Mono, doesn't kill him. Can't quite get that headshot.
No one's on the
He's
point.
being a very sneaky monkey, and yeah, yet again, no one there. And that is just going to be the push through for EnVy. So do get the completion, have some time in the bank.
Does feel like in this entire push phase we saw a lot more defensive play out of Mickey, and also a few times out of Effect, punishing the dive-ins that we were seeing from Mono there, got caught and killed. There are a few moments where you could see when Taimu was left to his own devices, he was killing the weakened Winston that was jumping back in to join his teammates, and I feel like the big other story on the other side of the coin is, again, RunAway playing much better on the Tracer this game, finding those picks, getting more flanks, and I think that's somewhat because of the way that we're seeing the move back from Mickey and, of course, for Effect. But we'll see if this can continue here, as Taimu still not finding much with his dead eyes, but the McCree accuracy is real. We saw the Primal Rage that was used there by Mono. His health went down to about a third because Taimu just pointed his gun at him and chunked it down.
I mean, but it still is operating as a massive, zone tool. Because obviously, this is not the McCree patch with the very quicken or sped up ultimate lock-in for that Deadeye. So still has that longer duration, so it can't really be the damage threat or the kill threat that you see on live servers at the moment, but still does have that massive zoning potential. So everybody having to get behind the crates back towards the spawn, piling behind pillars, because if they move up to the payload, the rest of EnVyUs is there to just kind of kill them, because they have to be focused on not getting clipped by that Deadeye, so they can't really pay attention to perhaps the D.Va that's running into their face, just booping them out to try to get those hits in from the McCree. So still is quite effective here for Taimu, making this pick work. We know that it's
Yeah.
a big favorite of his. It was unfortunate that we didn't get to see it during that match versus Kongdoo Panthera. Maybe it would have made the difference specifically on Oasis, where we saw the pharmacy comp come through and the soldier wasn't really delivering.
He just seems...
But that's in the past.
He seems kind of hell-bent on running it. Aron's going to stick with this. Genji, though, Recry's going to be on the soldier here on attack. Did show the Widow for just a moment to scout things out. We'll see it's the same exact composition. And we'll see if they can find the supports yet again, as Aron is looking to the back line here. Unfortunately, unsuccessful. Gets taken out.
Oh, and Taimu just finds him, just takes him down off the top of the movie theater, snipes him out. And Envy, they're just going to push all the way up to the choke. And just try to keep them contained. Lucid has swapped back over onto that Zenyatta to try to be the tank buster assist that Afreeca desperately needs.
Yeah, a lot tougher to use Freecs' style of trying to get in the back and killing the squishy heroes, the supports, when you actually have Recry on the soldier instead of on the tracer, just less mobile here. Oh, the headshot's coming through.
There we go. Gets it on the last one. So a bit dirty, but oh, there we go. Follows up for the second one, finds Recry, and the punch straight into Dongyun as the baby diva charging forward into the hotel. We'll go ahead and get an instant replay of that one. So make it 1, we'll make it 2. And
Mickey got the third one, but that's all right.
We didn't get to see the punch. Oh well.
It's okay. We saw what matters here, and is that Taimu is looking comfortable on the McCree pick. He's been, you know, kind of leashed on the soldier, you could say, by Kai throughout most of this tournament. When he's left to be able to play the McCree, though.
I mean, he's already got the Deadeye ready to go.
Yeah, with all the damage done there, they build up a massive ult lead. Harry Hook's also going to grab the sound barrier just a minute. We're going to see Transcendence pop first.
Yeah, it's going to be from both of these Zenyatas. Taimu sitting in the middle of it looking for a Deadeye target. Looks like he did get the pop on the Dongyun. Smack knocks him out. Right at the end of that one, they take him down in the end. And Afreeca.Blue potentially in danger of getting full health here on point A. Invested some of their ultimates there. We'll have a couple more coming up shortly, but they're still just getting picked off one after another, so the stagger is massive, and there's not even a single tick on this point with 2 minutes remaining.
Just not getting kills at all on EnVyUs. Recry is going to desperately switch to the Widow to try to get some of those.
I mean, this is a rare one, the late Widow swap on King's Row. Usually it's the first 15 seconds to whole point cap.
Yeah.
But he's going for this one in the latter minutes of this take.
Looking to try to get Mickey out of the mech, unsuccessful here.
Oh.
Aron dies immediately to Chips. Probably the right click there, we'll never know, but this is just disastrous. Again, Freecs wasting ultimates now, and this may be the next 6-man push to try to use 6 ults will be the last one they'll get this game with only 1:30 left on the clock.
I mean, this is just disgusting. Where was this EnVyUs in the semifinal match? Aron just gets absolutely bodied, loses that massive cooldown. And right now, the only ones they have going to themselves is Primal Rage, really, and the Sound Barrier. They can at least use.
Hey, they got infrared.
Yeah, they have infrasight. Okay, but I mean, they will soon have a self-destruct at least from Dongyun to try to zone Envy off the point. Maybe that gains them a first tick.
But this
if they
was
can pile in. But
yeah, this was a push that was designed to do well, but not necessarily cap. But now this is going to be their last chance, realistically, to have multiple ults here. The Sound Barrier not really paired with anything here. Aron's about to have that Dragon Blade, but he's still just a few percentage points off here.
I mean, they still only made it halfway to that first tick. Lucid goes down. Aron's fallen
dead
as well. Effect desperately trying to win this duel against Recry. Gets him down to 2% HP. But he is dangerously low himself, so can't push forward. But you can see Mono and Dongyun still up here onto the point, but they can't get the contest coming through because Coco has that Primal Rage available. Will pop it, knocks him into the house. Mono's going to go ahead and match. As the rest of Afreeca do push forward, finally looking for that cap in this last 30 seconds. Can they get it? Because even if they do, they still have to make it all the way to the end. They have to get the completion. Bubbles down to block out that self-destruct. Won't find anything on that end, but the Deadeye does take out IDK. Lucid falls, both supports.
Again!
Taimu! The perfectly timed grenade coming out. I just lost my mind for a second there. Couldn't even think after that play. Just takes Aron out.
Recry's dead too.
Mid-air after that Dragon Blade comes through. Now Aron forced to jump off of the Genji onto the Tracer in the last vestiges of this push, now into overtime as they desperately try to get this entire cap coming through. Transcendence is used out by Lucid as they try to push in, but he's going to go down, and you have to think that that's going to be the last of the hopes here for Afreeca.Blue.
That's going to be it. Looks like time ticking down here. Recry and Aron going to try to buy time. Don't think he can get in here. Pushed out now. IDK also denied, and that is going to be the cap here, or rather the deny. The overtime ticks down, and EnVyUs will shift the momentum. Talk about a momentum shift there. We had that first game was so close, and EnVyUs looked really frustrating. They had the tactical pause called, and that was a one-sided full hold there. Coming out, Arham with 2 completely wasted Dragon Blades there. The ult synergy on the side of Afreeca Freecs Blue didn't exist going into this attack, and they kept using 2 ults at once or not committing the ults at